Now, when she disappeared, what were the theories then of what happened?
The theories then were that Paul Greenwald had something to do with it, or possibly did it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a good theory. I mean, I understand. I agree with it. I mean, at a certain point, I did too. Because he was ultimately responsible for the death of her mother. And he was one of the last people who had seen her that day. He had driven her to school. And there was actually another friend of hers, I don't recall the name, I don't have it in front of me, who I've spoken to since that actually rode to school with her that day too.
And what about the belief that she ran away?
I don't think she ran away. I mean, at first, obviously, when she disappeared, that was a good theory. But as time went on, I think, I think somebody hurt her. I think somebody killed her. The fact that she's been gone for this long, by the letter that her mother wrote her on March 15th, after she had gone missing, it seems to me that, they had a good mother-daughter relationship, a warm, loving relationship.
She had run away for a night.
Prior to that.
And she was suspended from school. Do you have any idea of why she had her stepfather drop her off at school when actually she was suspended?
No, I don't.
Okay. But she was, in fact, suspended?
To the best of my knowledge, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, there's a lot of variables, and I don't have the answers. And, it's tough just, looking back on it now. Everybody that worked on it, I think, did a great job. But there's certain questions that I have, and sometimes I just don't have the answers,
Mm-hmm.
And it's not easy to just go get them now because so much time has passed.
What did Tracy's friends tell you about the situation? And what are their thoughts in your investigations?
They don't think that she's alive anywhere. They all think that something bad happened to her too, because they all say she would have come to me. That was one recurring theme that all her friends said. Well, if she ran away from her mom, she'd have been at my back window that night or the next day. But she just vanished. Obviously, that was before the day of the internet and cell phones and beepers and things like that. But where she could have called somebody. But she has several friends that said, no, something bad definitely happened to her. It wouldn't have been like her to just disappear for that long.
Mm-hmm. Can you tell me more about the similarities between the body and Tracy?
Well, if you look at, this is the missing. This is actually the flyer from the National Center for Missing Exploited Children, which was, obviously, the information was provided by Bensalem Police back when this happened. But obviously, we're dealing with two females here. Tracy's height was approximately 5 feet. This Jane Doe is approximately saying 5 feet to 5'3" inches tall. They're saying Tracy was about 95 pounds. Here they're saying 100 to 120 pounds. It's all approximate. The window is about right. I mean, the hair is about the same color. There's too many similarities for me. I just think, give it another shot. There's DNA funding there to, just get a nuclear DNA profile from this Jane Doe and test it against her father and her maternal grandmother. And, see what happens. It's either going to be her or it's not, and hopefully it will be. Then we'll know at least what happened to her. At least her father will have closure. Her grandmother will have. Her grandmother's very old.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how much time she has left, but I know she would love closure. So it's the perfect scenario would be that this is indeed Tracy. If it's not, it's still not a lost cause because now this person's DNA is still going to be tested, and Tracy's family's DNA is now in the system. So maybe Tracy went to another state and died in another state. Maybe that state will submit that Jane Doe into the system and get a hit that way. I mean, quite frankly, I'd like this to be her. But well, if we indeed get a match, then we're not going to immediately charge somebody, and we're going to do a little more investigative work. Like I said, this body, there was a fetal skeleton with this body too. It's my belief that maybe the father of that child may have positively identifying this body as Tracy, if it is her, I don't think that in itself is enough to convict somebody, but I certainly think it gives me probable cause to obtain additional information, whether it be via search warrant or other means, to go ahead and get the rest of the evidence that would be needed to bring somebody in for it. And like I said, that's the one thing that we have going for us, is that there's no statute of limitations.
Mm-hmm.
So.